Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy, Tijerina. And Ron and I are the co-founders and co-directors of the Ridge Project and the co-creators of TYRO.
TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new. A what?
Oh,
a warrior. Somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes to build a legacy that will outlast them for who? For their family.
And think about what a warrior is. A warrior is someone that fights for something that they believe in, that fights for honor, integrity, that protects others. And so when we talk about being a warrior, we're talking about becoming a warrior for your family legacy, to become a leader in your home, your workplace, and your community.
So today we're going to talk about, the word confidence. I am confident. And we are so excited about today's subject because my experience, I used to have this mask on, right? When I went to prison, I didn't want nobody to know I was afraid. I didn't want nobody to know I was scared. Scared, is that how you say it?
Scared.
Scared. I didn't want nobody to know that. So I had this thing called false bravado. Mm-hmm. And that's not what we're talking about.
No.
Where you fake it to make it.
So the lessons that we're going to share with you are things we learned through our own personal journey, through welfare, through imprisonment, as Ron did those 15 years of prison, while the kids and I did the time on the outside. We learned a lot about struggle, survival, and not just survival, but to move to a place of thriving in spite of incarceration.
When you're living with the label and you got this stigma upon you, right? You and your family and things of that nature. It takes what it takes to build this type of confidence we're talking about. We're going to break it down for you to where, no matter what society says about you, no matter what your family knows about you, you've come into a new realm of existence in your life because your confidence is built upon you know who you are, you know your purpose, and you know what to do to get it done. To get what done? Create a legacy for your family.
And in order to really, truly be successful, you've got to build confidence. You have to understand where confidence comes from, how to apply confidence, and how to live and walk in confidence. And so today we're going to talk about that because it's not as easy as it sounds. As we learn to really be confident in who we are, we first had to face our own insecurities, our own fears. We had to face the public. We had to face what other people thought about us and expectations put on us. There was a lot we had to overcome.
One of the things we had to do is grow up.
That's right.
We had to grow up.
Yes.
I was a grown man with little boy issues.
Oh, wait, say that again, because that's so true.
I was a grown man. I can sing the song with little boy issues. And that's what we're talking to you about. Are you a grown man with little boy issues? Because a little boy will put on this false bravado, this mask, and whistle through life thinking he's not afraid. We're a strong man of who knows where he's at. You know what? Guess what? We deal with fear. We deal with insecurities. We deal with doubt.
So when we come back, we're going to take a really short break. But when we come back, we're going to talk more about what is true confidence. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy, Tijerina.
And today we're talking about confidence. The question is, am I confident? Am I confident in my own skin, in my own shoes, with my past, with my present, with my future? Man.
Confidence, it takes a lot to build confidence, especially to rebuild confidence. And so you really are going to have to take a minute and think about, okay, when you think about confidence, what is confidence? And so we're going to start out, first of all, by sharing some things that confidence is not. Because a lot of times people confuse these things for true confidence.
So a lot of times people might think that if you walk in confidence, they might think you're arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Arrogance is not confidence.
Arrogance is not confidence at all. And I appreciate this. When Cathy and I came into this revelation about, pretending to know something that we didn't know nothing about, how to be husband and wife.
Oh gosh,
right?
yeah.
Right? And so we're playing house.
Now
we're not building house.
Right.
Confidence, and let me throw that in there because a real man who's confident doesn't play house, he builds houses, right? We don't play house, we're building a true husband doesn't play house, we build houses, right? So confidence is not arrogance. Now let me give give you the definition real quick. What it isn't and what it is. So confidence is knowing its limits, right? When I'm confident about what I know and I'm an expert in a field, guess what? I know that I know that I know. Now, arrogance doesn't know its limits. Arrogance will raise up his hand when he has no business to raise up his hand. If you know nothing about skydiving and you have never done it before, do not claim to know how to do it. That's called being arrogant.
Right. So confidence, let me give you just a really easy example. So confidence, 1 + 1 = 2. You cannot change my mind. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt 1 + 1 = 2. Let's say I didn't know that. And so if somebody asked me 1 + 1, what does 1 + 1 equal? And my answer is full of arrogance. You know what? I'm not even going to answer that. Of course I know the answer to that. Like, you're going to question that my intelligence, that I would even know? Why are you even asking me that question, you idiot? What, you must obviously not know. And I'm not going to tell you.
And
when you figure that out for yourself.
When you see people respond like that, that's called arrogance.
That's right. That means they're not confident. It means that they're putting on a facade. That's not what we're talking about.
Another aspect of confidence is when you're confident in what you know, right? You're also humble in what you don't know.
And if you're not confident, false confidence is boastful. It's arrogant. It's boastful. It's prideful.
It's ugly.
It's ugly.
It's ugly, man, because I know in my own journey, when I look back at my life and I see the lamism that I was creating and the poison that I was and everywhere around, only because I was arrogant. I was unteachable. When you're arrogant, you're unteachable because you know everything.
Or actually, the truth is, you know you don't know everything.
Oh, now you're in denial.
You're afraid that you're going to be found out as a fake, as somebody that doesn't know things. And so you put on this false bravado, this false confidence. And like you said, it's arrogant, it's haughty, right? It's prideful, but it's also double-minded because you second guess every decision you make because you don't have confidence to say what you mean and mean what you say.
One of the things that I was really fortunate with when I went to prison, I'm 25 years old, and I had no idea what to expect in that world called penitentiary. I've never been there before, and so I guess some people saw the look of terror on my face, right? I mean, I was literally totally afraid, but I tried to put on a mask. I tried to hold up my head up high like this ain't no big deal, but I was truly afraid, right? But some men took me aside and they began to teach me how to do time before the time did me. Right? And that's what, and listen, so I was humble enough to say, you know what, I need to learn how to do this because I have no idea what's happening. I don't know what a predator is. I don't know if I can be taken advantage of. Somebody teach me quickly how to do this type of lifestyle because I got to live here.
And then after that, then he had to learn, okay, so now how do I not make this a lifestyle? How do I apply the principles to walk in confidence in here, understanding the risks, but also develop what I need to develop in order to be confident through my reentry and into life on the outside as I reenter society. You see, you can't just stop. When we talk about confidence, we're not talking about confidence in learning how to live in the institution. We're talking about confidence in who you are and the potential and knowing what you're capable of doing. Confidence establishes authority and begins the path for leadership. If you are not confident, you will never exercise your authority over the things you have control over. You will also never develop the path of leadership.
One of the great things that happened to me when I first went into prison, another inmate came to me and he said, listen, in order for you to really make this world a place of success, something you have to stop with what you believe, what you knew. Everything up to this moment in time, it didn't work. So you have to start all over again. So really the question they asked me, so your best thinking got you where? Penitentiary. So it was time to change the way I thought about life. It was time to change the way I saw myself. It was time to let others teach me how to live and thrive even in prison because they were teaching me this is not the end all. This is not it for you. There's going to be something at the end of this, but you got to be willing to grow, learn, and become successful in here so that when you do hit the streets, you're taking everything you're learning, how to live life honestly, honorably, good character.
Right. How to build confidence in who you are so that you don't fall into the same mistakes. And so when we come back, we're going to talk more about why it's so important to build self-confidence, true self-confidence.
Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're asking the question, am I confident? Are you confident? And we're taking it to the place of where, what are you willing to do? Right? To get to a place of where, you know what, I'm comfortable with me. I know who I am. I know my purpose. But it's going to take work for you to get to that place.
So what is confidence? We talked about that. We especially talked about what it isn't. That false bravado, that arrogance, that boastfulness, that haughtiness. That's not confidence. What we're talking about is true confidence. Confidence that walks in humility and humbleness because it knows its limits. It knows who it is. And so now we're going to talk about why. Why is it so important to learn to be truly confident instead of practicing this false bravado?
You know, people who are hurt, people who have been wounded in life and never dealt with their past or never dealt with the things that hurt them, wounded people wound others. And that type of behavior, and you can see it all around you, right? You can see where there's bullies in your sphere of influence, in your pods, in your unit. You got bullies in there. They might not call them bullies in the penitentiary, but that's what they are. These are people who have this false bravado on, where they got this mask on that they don't want nobody to know they're hurting. They don't want nobody to know that they've been through something in their life, and so they go and hurt others. You see, healed people heal others, and when you when you start walking in this place of confidence, where, as Cathy said, true humility, you know what? You recognize your past, and maybe your past was detrimental, maybe it was ugly, maybe it was, but your perspective on your past has changed. It no longer dictates to you. It no longer puts you in a place of where you tell yourself, I can't grow because I experienced whatever it is. You've changed your perspective. You've allowed your past to catapult you to a new level of life to where, you know what, let me learn from my past mistakes. Let me learn from what maybe have happened to me. Maybe let me learn from maybe what I did.
You see, if you're not who you say you are, you will be found out for who you really are. You're not fooling anybody. I mean, I'm just going to tell you the truth. You know, we meet all kinds of people with this false bravado, this haughtiness, this arrogance, and they're not fooling us. We can see right through them. We know that this is a person in pain, that lacks self-confidence, that is afraid that they're not good enough, and is struggling with their own self-worth. And so they put on this bravado and this, like, how dare you challenge me? And, like, you know, oh, you insulted me, and all of these things, because they're afraid to be found out for who they really are, to be discovered as being lacking, as not good enough, to be exposed. And so why it's so important to develop true confidence is because true confidence breeds trust and safety and security. Because when you're confident and know who you are, people can come into your sphere of influence and they are going to know that they're safe there because they know that you are who you say you are. Because you're teachable, because you share the things that you know and you ask questions about the things you don't know. You're in this continuous improvement plan. And so it's so important to develop true self-confidence, to deal with your past and develop confidence in who you are so that you can lead well.
So now, dads, let's ask the question, who's watching you? Who's going to learn from you? And of course, the answer is your children. Your children are counting on you to show them what true confidence looks like. They already saw you in the past, and maybe you were a jerk. Maybe you were so arrogant in your lifestyle that you were living that it finally caught up to you and you got incarcerated, you got locked up. But now you're at a place where you can humble yourself and you can own your mistakes. You can own your story to the place of where you know that your story doesn't define who you are. Your past doesn't define who you are, but you can allow it to qualify you for something greater when you learn from it, when you grow from it, when you let it help help empower you, not create a powerless person anymore.
When you gain confidence, then you will be able to achieve anything. As long as you walk around and you do not have self-confidence, you will never enjoy success because you will always be walking in fear. Fear of being exposed, fear of failure, fear, all kinds of fears. And so when we talk about why it's so important to develop self-confidence, because it is one of the foundational bricks in creating a legacy that is strong, that is going to outlast you in your lifetime. And as you begin to really lead your children well, you have to do it with confidence because people around you know if you are full of BS. If they know that you do not know what you're really talking about, people are laughing at you behind your back. They're saying, oh yeah, you know Jimmy here, Joe, oh yeah, he's always acting like he knows what he's talking about, but he doesn't know squat, right? And if you want people to say, wow, you know what, let me go ask Jimmy his opinion because I value his opinion because he's going to tell me if he doesn't know, he's going to tell me the truth.
One of the things that I experienced when I was in prison was, and a lot of men would come to me and they would ask, how are you keeping your family intact? How is it that your family continues to write you, they continue to visit you, and they're staying part of your life? What are you doing? I said, well, I'm changing, I'm growing, I'm being honest with them. I'm telling them what I don't know anymore. I'm no longer that guy who knows everything, right? Who knows the truth who knew nothing, right? About how to be a husband, how to be a father, how to be a friend. Mm-hmm. Come on, I didn't know any of that type of stuff. Had I known how to be a dad, I wouldn't have went to prison. Had I known how to be a true, healthy husband, I wouldn't have went to prison. Had I known how to be a true employee, right? Come on, I'd have never got fired.
And if he had known all of those things, when he learned all of those things, he was able to walk in the confidence of knowing, well, I know what it means to be a man of my word, a man of honor and integrity. I am confident that this is who I am. And when you walk in confidence, you attract where you are at. And then people will surround you and help propel you to meet your dreams, to reach the highest potential you have.
Listen, this is what this is about. Confidence is a powerful tool in your toolbox that will catapult you to a new level of life. But you got to be willing to be real and with yourself and talk to yourself and say, you know what? Where in areas of my life am I being arrogant?
So we're going to talk more about that, about really how to develop the self-confidence you need when we come back. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about confidence. Before we get into it, Cass, I want to just say that when I was incarcerated, I am so grateful for the men that did come into my life and begin to help me be able to do time, right?
And to build confidence.
That I could carry myself, that here I am 5'4", I'm Latino, they sent me to a maximum state penitentiary. Yes, I was afraid, but they began pouring into me the confidence that needed to come out of me.
Right, yep.
Right? Because I was an easy target. I was an easy mark, right? Here I am, the new guy, and guess what? I'm pretty, right? All those things,
you
right?
only knew that because I told you every day.
That's right. But what we're talking about is something that each person who's coming into prison, maybe you've been there a while, and maybe you're still walking around with this false bravado. Mm-hmm. Maybe you haven't come to grips of why you're there or how you're going to become successful when you get out. Yeah. This is the opportunity for you to really learn to examine your life to see where you're at. Are you ready?
And I'm going to tell you, that if you're not ready, then it's time to get ready. And I'm also going to tell you that if people are running from you and like you can't hold on to friends, you can't hold on to your lady, nobody wants to continue a relationship with you, it's because you aren't walking in confidence. Because we talked about earlier how confidence walks with humility and humbleness. Because confidence doesn't have to prove itself.
That's right. If you're still walking around like you know everything and you're telling the people on the streets, you're on the phone and you're telling them what to do, what not to do, stop it. You're in boot camp, man. You're there to relearn how to live.
Yep. If you're acting like a dictator, it's because truly you don't have true confidence. You're arrogant, you're boastful, you're haughty. That is not confidence. So now we're going to talk to you about, okay, if you're saying, okay, gosh darn it, that's me, and you're feeling exposed, well now we're going to help you understand how how to get to the place of developing true confidence so that you can walk in boldness and authority with humility.
And the first thing is you can only heal what you reveal. Right? Now, we're not saying expose yourself to everybody around you, but you got to look at yourself, examine your own life. You can only heal what you reveal. Now, if you have confidence in some of the people that you're with, then share the things in your life that, you know what, I need to deal with some issues. I've had some things in my life that I haven't overcome yet, but I need to get them out of here. Because if you keep that poison inside you, right, you keep the things that are detrimental to your success, to your confidence of who you are, you know, you will only heal what you reveal.
And so the first place might be just starting a journal and actually just journaling out. Get it out. If you don't feel like you've got someone in your sphere of influence that you can totally trust with this information, then write it down and then start looking around, because I promise you there are people, whether it's your lady, your person that you're in a relationship, a romantic relationship with, your wife, your sister, your mother, your aunt, your best friend, there's somebody in your sphere of influence. And as you begin to get it out, and you'll be thinking, wow, you know what? I need to share this with whoever it is, fill in the blank, and share it with them. As you reveal it, you're healed. And you can be like, wow, this has really held me back. This has created a lot of pain and anger and frustration and fear. And in order to really move beyond it, to become confident in who I am, I have to heal from it.
And the greatest thing is, once you start doing this, you're creating an empty space now because you're getting rid of the poison.
Right.
So now the number two is you got to become a student. You got to fill in that empty space with something powerful, something true, something honorable.
So now that means learn. Be open to learning things you don't know, because as you learn, that's how we gain confidence. So you think about somebody that can't read, right? And so they don't have any confidence. They might be putting on bravado and pretending like they can read and fighting against it because they're embarrassed, they're humiliated. But once they begin to learn to read, confidence comes that, you know what, I can hold my own. You know what, if somebody puts something in front of me, I don't have to be afraid that I'm going to be found out. I can actually say, you know what, I'm just learning how to read. I'm struggling with this word. Can you help me with it? That's confidence.
That's true humility. You know what, you're not embarrassed anymore. You know what, in life, this happened to me in life. I'm not going to let this hold me back anymore.
Right.
What's holding you back from being real with you?
Yep. So walking in confidence first starts with, you've got to reveal so you can heal. Number two, you've got to learn to become a student and say, wow, okay, now I realize the places I need to learn, and I'm going to start learning. I'm going to start applying myself and getting knowledge and understanding so that I can have confidence.
And number three is you're going to have courage. You know, this is a place where you become vulnerable, where you're going to be set up to people going to see where you're weak at. Right? But you're going to no longer let your weakness dominate your strengths. One of your strengths is when you walk in humility, you're not embarrassed anymore. You know what? I don't know how to do that. And you're going to go find the answer to that question. I want to know how to do that. So guess what? You go back to school.
Yep. And the flip side of that is being courageous in speaking up the things you do know. So if other people, you see that there's a need and you're like, wow, you know what? I know that, but I don't. And then you self-doubt, like, I'm not really sure if Ron's going to hear it from me. I'm not really sure if they're going to, allow me to speak into that, but I'm an expert and that I know what I'm talking about. Be courageous. Step up. The places that you do know what you're talking about, stand up and speak out, because not only does that help you become more confident, you know what? I do know what I'm doing.
It validates you.
Yeah.
Your confidence in you validates you, where you're no longer looking for the validation of others. That's good, but you don't need it anymore. Why? Because you're confident in who you are. You know what you went through. Man, listen, you live to tell about it. If you are successful and you come out of prison, man, come on. That's a star in your life.
And when you exhibit your own confidence in the information you know, you give permission to people around you to do the same thing, to speak up and share what they know and no longer hide in the sidelines, especially your children. Your children have gifts and talents that they are just lacking the confidence to step out and live up to who they are. When they see you do that, it gives them permission to do that.
It gives them permission to live to their highest potential and not be arrogant about it, but be confident.
So we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to wrap it all up and give you some final tips. So stay tuned.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about confidence. We're talking about the empowerment of knowing who you are.
And I'm going to tell you, there is nothing that will create a stronger impact in your life than developing true confidence. I remember living my life and just, second guessing every decision I made, not being confident about anything. I mean, from the choice of what I was going to wear that day to making major decisions, I couldn't make without getting a whole bunch of people's input. And then I was so confused. And then getting to the place of really figuring out who I was and gaining confidence in my ability to make the right decision changed my life.
Confidence is not arrogant, nor is it boastful. If you're arrogant and you're always boastful, right?
That's not confidence. That's not what we're talking about.
That's not what we're talking about. That's a grown man with little boy issues.
Or a grown woman with little girl issues.
And it's time to come to a place of becoming that forever learning student.
And the freedom of walking in confidence, it is incredible. I want this for you, but more than that, I want this for your children. In order for your children to develop confidence, they have to see you model it, and then you inputting and instilling learning and a love of learning into their lives. That is what will cause them to walk in confidence.
Confidence is a powerful tool, not only in your toolbox, but as Cathy said, your children. It will create a generational empowerment. I'm trying to put this together because it will, you right now, your legacy that you're building, this will empower 3-4 generations beyond you. You can't even see when you're total confidence because of the new legacy or the new precedent that you're setting in your life and all the lives around you. People will begin building upon what you build. You will build a structure that can't be taken down. With this type of confidence, the next generation, they're not gonna experience penitentiary. They're not gonna experience alcoholism. Why?
Because poverty.
Or poverty, because you set a new course, a new precedent.
Yep. And so as you walk in confidence, you are forging the path for your family to walk behind you. And then they will, let's say you're just cutting the path, your children behind you, they'll be, digging out the road, their children will be laying the cement, their children will be creating a highway, and it will just continue to multiply generations to come. But it's gotta start somewhere.
And it starts with you, Dad. It starts with you right now, but you gotta be honest with yourself. Where are you at? Are you arrogant? Are you boastful? Are you haughty? Are you prideful? Can anybody teach you anything? Are you unteachable?
Or are you developing true self-confidence? So our time is up today. So we just want to take a moment to thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey towards transformation.
So until next time, always remember that we are rooting for you.